Hi friends, it's Dina with Forever Free with EFT, and we're going to do a tap on, I guess I'm just going to call it feeling like a failure. So maybe, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm an EFT coach, I'm a hobby herbalist, we have a small farm that I help care for. I have 3 kids that are very active in many activities. We scratch cook and live a very holistic lifestyle, of which I help prepare a lot of the elements that we use in our home. And so there's those moments and those times where it's just like I feel like I'm failing. If I'm putting all attention here, then I'm failing over here. Or how can I juggle all these things and all these roles? Well, I can't. And so sometimes when I feel like I'm not doing it well, or I'm just, barely hanging on, feel like all I'm doing is catching up from being behind, I start inside telling myself that I'm failing, or I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough. And really that's rooted in a lie, in a place of fear, that the enemy likes to keep us stuck in. He wants to point out, see, you can't do it. I told you you can't. Why are you even trying? Or if you're doing it, you're doing a terrible job. You blew up at your kid, you forgot the thing, you didn't do whatever. You got distracted, you're wasting time on other things when you could be doing, right? There's so many things that we tell ourselves. And so I know I tell myself those things. I definitely have a tendency towards perfection. Ism. And so I need to keep that in check for myself. I need to tap into myself, to deactivate that part in me that's like, man, I'm not doing it. I'm not keeping up. I'm failing. We're not failing when we're doing our best. And even sometimes when, we can say like, well, I wasn't doing my best, I let things go, or, I made a mistake that messed something up. We have to forgive ourselves, right? And we have to give ourselves grace, and we just get back on that horse and we keep going forward. My best friend always has the greatest saying. She gets like these word pictures. I wish my mind looked like that, but I just glean them from her. The goal is to head in the direction of perfection, because we will never be perfect this side of heaven. And so the unrealistic expectations that we have are from the world around us, or our own internal fleshly nature, that the enemy pushes our buttons and says, see, you aren't doing it right, you're a failure. I don't want to buy into that. I don't want to internalize that. I don't want to take that on. I don't want that to become a root in me that becomes something much bigger later. It will develop into dis-ease. It will develop into chronic stress. It will develop into maybe chronic fatigue, adrenal issues, all of those things, right, that we see and hear that are so common today, because the world is just pressuring us from all sides and all angles to do more and be more. And that's not what Scripture tells us. Scripture tells us to be who He created us to be. And I think that's a huge difference. So I'm going to get off my little soapbox about that and actually get to some tapping. So even though I feel this pressure around performing as a wife and a mother and a friend and a sister and a daughter and all the other things that I am, I love and accept myself for who I am right here and right now. Even though I feel pressure and I don't talk well to myself, I have the thoughts of being overwhelmed and feeling like a failure. I love and accept who I am right now anyway. even though that internal voice is shouting at me sometimes and telling me, look at how you're failing. Look at what you're not doing. And what you are doing, you're not doing it well. I recognize that that voice is coming forward, but I love and accept myself anyways. And I accept where I am right now. There is so much pressure, especially from the outside world, to perform. It's everywhere. Be more, do more, achieve more. It's everywhere. It's especially on social media, that love-hate relationship. Those curated squares of everything, right? Motherhood, wifehood, professionalism, appearance, every way that we could be performing, we see a version that is really unattainable and not real. I'm going to acknowledge that it's not real. I'm going to choose not to compare myself to that standard. There's something in me that wants to, because I have those perfectionistic tendencies. And so it's like, why doesn't my house look like that? Why don't my meals look like that? Why don't my children behave like that? Why doesn't my life look like that? I choose to let go of those mantras. I choose to let go of that pressure to perform. That pressure as a wife. That pressure as a mother. That pressure as a professional, or in whatever my job is, even if it's my job is in the home. That pressure as a woman. That pressure as a friend, to have this beautiful friend group who, picnics in nature and, has these amazing artistic abilities. I can't even think of all the things that I see. And we wear flower crowns when, we're hiking in our dresses. I don't know. What do I see? I don't need to identify with those things. Those things are not me. I'm not called to them. I recognize that I am not called to them. So because I'm not called to them, I don't need to follow them. I don't need to feel like I need to look like that, or be like that, or act like that, or perform like that. Whatever it is we're telling ourselves that we're not meeting a standard. So we bring all this pressure on ourselves. I can choose to let go of that pressure, that standard, that achieving. And I can choose to certainly not listen to that voice that's telling me I'm failing. I'm failing in every area. I choose to believe and to know that I have value right here and right now. I have so much value. I have value as a wife. My husband loves me. I have value as a mom. I love my children and I know they love me, even when they're grumping at me and telling me, Mom, why are you being so mean? Or you're not, blah, 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 the things that children spew at us. I have value as a friend. I love my friends well, and I am loyal, probably to a fault. I know this about myself, and I'm working on that one too. I value who I am in my work, all of my work, as a wife, as a mother, in my home, in my coaching, in my hobbies, in my herbalism, in my homestead, whatever the tasks are that I have in front of me, I have value. So I can release the pressure from feeling like a failure. I choose to release the pressure of feeling like a failure. I choose not to walk in those lies of being called a failure. I acknowledge the lies that are telling me I'm a failure. I choose not to stay stuck in that place of feeling like a failure. I choose to walk in a different path right here and right now, one step at a time, knowing that there may be setbacks, but I can jump right back on that path to right living, to being the person that I have been called to be and that I have been created to be. Ultimately, my main purpose is to glorify my Creator and to love Him and love the people around me and to be obedient to His ways because they are a blessing in my life. So I choose to focus on the truth. The truth that I am loved and I am valued. And I don't have to get anything perfect. I don't have to be the perfect mom. I just have to be the mom I'm called to be. I don't have to be a perfect wife. I just have to be the wife that I'm called to be. I don't have to be the perfect fill in the blank. I just have to be the perfect fill in the blank that I am called to be. And that comes with struggles and mistakes. And it comes with forgiveness and grace and mercy. So I choose to walk in that forgiveness and grace and mercy right here and right now. I choose to accept and walk in that forgiveness and mercy and grace right here and right now. And I need to give that to myself and honor myself in that way. So obviously that can go on and on. Personalize it for yourself or simplify it. I just choose to release the pressure of performance. And that could be your the whole thing. I choose to release the pressure of performance. I choose to release the pressure of performance or feeling like a failure. And keep it very simple. I just tend to kind of go where the Spirit leads me. So practice it, try it out, and see if you find yourself forever free.